Larry Elder is governor of California. Day one, what's happening on day one?
Well, I just mentioned water. I'm going to declare a statewide emergency on water. There are all sorts of projects all ready to go that would increase our water supply. They're going to be unleashed day one. Also, to the extent that there are still statewide mandates for vaccine, for face masks, for state workers, I'm going to repeal those before I have my first cup of tea. I'm also going to declare a statewide emergency on housing. Housing prices in California just hit $800,000. That is 150% to 250% above the national average, depending upon what study that you read. And we're having an out-migration of population in California for the very first time. And when people making between 50 and 100K give their reason for leaving California, the number one reason they cite, James, is they cannot afford the price of a house.
Yeah. And obviously, it's about a year until the general election in California. What are your primary goals? Are those your primary goals right there for the year? Or do you have any other primary goals that you're trying to get done in that year?
Well, during that year, I'm going to do something about the poor quality of public education. Gavin Newsom shut down this state while his own kids were enjoying in-person private education, denying in-person education to the kids who are in our government schools. 80%, by the way, are black and brown. I only mention their race because people like Gavin Newsom pride themselves on caring about black and brown people. Now, before the pandemic, James, 75% of black boys could not read at state levels of proficiency, and those levels are low. And the math scores were even worse. Almost half of all third graders could not read at state levels of proficiency. Now, polls show that black and brown parents want choice. They want the money to follow the child rather than the other way around. So one of the things I'm going to be pushing is ESAs, that stand for Education Savings Accounts. We're spending about $15,000 per student per year. That money would go into an account that the parent would control. So the parent could put their kid in a private school, a charter school, a private school, or religious school. I'm going to be a champion for that, and that's why Gavin Newsom and the teachers union are so afraid. The teachers union is the biggest obstacle for school choice, and they're the biggest funder of Gavin Newsom, and they're the most powerful union in this state. I'm going to be taking them on.
And then I've been to a lot of medical freedom rallies just all across California. A big concern for a lot of Californians is their individual liberties being infringed upon. Is there something that you will do as governor to protect those Californians and their liberties?
Well, to the extent that there are mandates for state workers, and right now there are, the governor has required all state workers who've not been vaccinated to be tested once a week, and for those who've not been vaccinated to wear a face mask. When I become governor, that's going to be one of the first things I'm going to do is repeal that mandate. As far as the rest of the states and municipalities and small businesses and other private businesses are concerned, I'm not going to have a whole lot of control over that. But a lot of people are filing lawsuits, and I'm going to be giving vocal support to those lawsuits.
And then last question for you. President Joe Biden is coming to show support for Gavin Newsom on Monday. Does that worry you at all? Do you think that's going to help him? What are your thoughts?
It ought to worry Gavin Newsom that somebody so unpopular who's made such a disastrous decision in withdrawing from Afghanistan should be coming here. And by the way, to my knowledge, Gavin Newsom is the only major politician who's praised what Joe Biden has done on Afghanistan, which gives you a worldview into Gavin Newsom's judgment and his lack of common sense. Look, all these outsiders have come in, not just Biden, but also Barack Obama cut a commercial for him, Bernie Sanders cut a commercial for him, Senator Warren cut a commercial for him. One of the things you've never heard, James, from any of these people supporting Gavin Newsom are the following words. Gavin Newsom has done a good job. You haven't heard that at all. Has he done a good job on crime? No. Has he done a good job on education? Absolutely not. Has he done a good job on homelessness? No. Has he done a good job on preventing people from leaving California for the first time? No. Has he done a good job on forest management? No. On water supply? No. On rolling brownouts? No. I can't think of any front where this man has done a good job. So you're never going to hear those magical words from anybody. Gavin Newsom has done a good job for the citizens of California because he hasn't.
They are worried, given the assault on his team yesterday by that crazy woman wearing a monkey mask. I think Newsom is worried. So if you're watching in California, get out there on Tuesday. Vote in person. Question 1, yes, recall Gavin Newsom.
You just watched Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news channel, now in more than 70 million homes. You can get Newsmax TV on your cable system or check your cable guide. And if your system doesn't carry Newsmax, call them, tell them you want Newsmax TV, because we're real news for real people.